So what I wanted to do today, I don't know why I've gone to that camera. So what I want to do is sorry, I'm just thinking. So I've got this for you. Okay. So this is a little freebie download that I decided to do. So this is going to be my project today, and this is a little seed packet. So I thought, because we were doing the summer garden, and one thing I wanted to do in that collection that I didn't, because we kind of just couldn't have any more in it. We reached a point where we were just like, no. Chris was like, no, you cannot put any more in this collection. And one thing I wanted was a seed packet die for you. But and I am going to do one. In fact, I might do one quite soon. Anyway, so I've given you this free little download, okay? And so this basically, you're just going to print it off like this on a sheet, and it's got the sentiments already on here for you. So, but you don't have to use it like this. Now, my printer's downstairs, and I can't really put cardstock through it. But what I would do is I would get a piece of A4 card and I would print this onto the card so it comes out on a nice coloured cardstock. But what I'm actually going to do, so this is free on the website, it's there now, I did it yesterday, so you can go and download that for free. That's interesting, Janet. So you can watch on YouTube, much bigger screen. That's interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this as a template to cut out. So I'm probably not going to use the sentiment, although I might, but I don't think I am. Okay, I'm kind of winging it a little bit. Hi Sana. Well, gosh, we've got lots of people. So thanks for joining me, everyone. So I'm just going to literally cut this out nice and easy. I would have done this earlier so I didn't have to waste time, but I literally forgot to even get this off the printer 2 minutes before I went live. So okay, it doesn't take much anyway. So I'm just using this as a template, and really I'd have liked to have printed it on a heavier weight paper really if I had my choice, just because it'll be easier to cut around. I must admit, I do miss, nobody does them anymore, and it's because they kind of, with the evolution of dyes, it kind of got rid of all the mylar templates that we all used to love and use, and I kind of just miss sometimes just having a mylar template just to be able to do things like this. But I suppose if you've got a dye you don't need one. Right, okay, so look, this is just so cute. So all you're going to do is it just goes like that, and we've got our little seed packet, and I've done it at just a nice little size that it can go onto a card. So you know, you could use this for whatever you wanted to. Now you could, if you wanted to, just literally ink this if you want. I'm going to use some cardstock, I think, for it. So I kind of have half a mind of what I want to do. In fact, I kind of want to try and get 2 projects done today. Because Chris is away. I can do a longer live if you want me to. I know sometimes it gets a bit boring, but what I am going to use is, if you saw the Hobby Maker show, the last Hobby Maker show. Oh, and I have to remember, we are on Hobby Maker on Wednesday the 26th. We've got a new show. It will be a Christmas show. If you, I'm not actually doing it this week. Dawn Wheeler's actually going to be doing the show for me. Very nice of her. Anyway, so that's on Wednesday. Couldn't tell you what time. 2 hours as usual. But there are new things on there, so don't miss it. There's new. I can't. It's been such a manic week. I can't even remember what's new. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. Let me think. No, I can't remember. Anyway, if you were watching the last Hobby Maker show, this little kit was on there. So this is kind of I'm only given the offcuts. I'm not given the real thing. Chris is too tight and mean with me because he goes, well, you only ever use half of it, so you're not having it. So he only ever gives me parts. So I'm using offcuts here. But basically, this was a Woodies kit. This is actually on the website. If you head to the Summer Garden release section. So this is mine where it all went wrong. Look, you can see. But basically, you get... In fact, let me show you one. I've got one here. What am I doing? Crikey. Oh, this is my one from the show. Hang on, let me show you. Ooh. Okay, I am gonna make something, but I just want to show you this because this has barely been seen because it was such a last-minute addition. Right. So basically, what you're getting in this kit is, and my whole aim with the Woodies is to kind of make Chipboard and MDF work together, which I just absolutely love. I love being able to create frames for things. So with this, these are your little Chipboard birdies, and these all just I'm not going to pop them out of that one. I've got a load. Let me show you. Let me turn that around. So look, you get basically 3 sheets of chipboard. You've got 2 sheets of tags, and these are all the tags. So these are like a really nice size tag, and I wanted these so that you could actually almost create a card with this, so that they were almost big enough, or they are big enough that you can add papers and you can embellish. Because I love using tags, but sometimes they're just too small or they're too big, and you don't seem to get many that are like in between. And I love these that are kind of got the little cutouts. So you're going to get 2 sheets of tags, then you get the birds, which is this sheet, and you also get all the branches and little flowers on there and everything as well. Okay, and I just want to show you what you do with these, because really, if you didn't see the show, you're not really going to understand what you do. So how this works is you've got your MDF birds here as well. Now those MDF birds, some of them are cut like this, so the inner bit is kind of waste, although I would still use it, and then the outer bits are all slightly different. So the outers create a frame, and what you can do is, let me pop them out. Okay, so you've got your little birdie, and oh no, I've got things on my laptop and I've lost my cursor again. Oh no, it's there. Sorry, I'm just going to zoom in a bit. Okay, so you've got your outy bit. Oh no, it's too big, that one. That's better. Oh, you've got to find the right one to match. Okay. There we go. Hey, bear with me. Okay, I'm going to show you the things that I've already got here. So, look, some of them come out like this, but some of them come out like this. So as you can see, what you do is you actually add that to the chipboard one, and then you've got a little embellishment. It just makes the cutest things. Look at this. It's just adorable, and it's 3D. You know, this is 3mm. Oh no, 2mm, but I actually built 2 up on that one. So I actually put 2 together because I wanted it to stand out even more. But they're so lightweight, it doesn't really add anything onto your postage if you're making things. And then also in that kit as well, in the chipboard look, I mean, look at how many pieces. You get 90 pieces in this kit. I mean, you can see I've got so much on my desk I can't even control it. But look, you've also got houses in here. So loads of you loved, we did a kind of a different set of these little houses a while back, right when we first started doing the MDF. And I'm just in love with these. I absolutely love them. So I wanted you to do these again. So look, I've got an MDF house base, because you're actually getting the base and the frame when it cuts out. And then you can just decorate these however you want. So, you know, you could almost do something like that, couldn't you? You know, you could get really, really creative with these. And all the little, look at the houses. Look, these are just gorgeous. So this is just MDF. And I've painted this with an acrylic matte paint marker. Just a cheap matte paint marker. Watch this space, I'll say no more. Let me just grab what else there is, some of the other bits and pieces. So look, I didn't quite finish all of these. Look, you've got this cutie as well. So look, you could, this is why I made the tags quite big. So I wanted you to be able to actually decorate the tags and things as well. So that is the chipboard and MDF embellishment packet. If you want that, don't forget there's 25% off with your code LIVE25. You head to the Summer Garden collection. I'll put the links in at the end of the live. I'm not going to do it now, obviously, but at the end of the live, I'll put the links in, and then you can find everything if you need to. But it's just in the Summer Garden collection, or go into the MDF section on the front page of the website and you'll find it there. Anyway, so that was why I had all these out here. So, right, and so what I want to do as well is mix this with some of the, I got sidetracked, sorry. Doesn't take a lot, does it? Oh no. So, gosh, bear with me. Okay. Oh, it's okay. I thought I'd lost something, but I haven't. Everything's falling down that I need. Right, okay. So, let me zoom back out a little bit. That's better. Okay. So, one of the other things in the Summer Garden is the Green Fingers chipboard. Let me just move them out of the way. So this is why I've done the little seed packet, because I kind of want to make something gardening-y. I'm just looking at some of the messages. I wonder if you could fill with glossy accents. Yes, you absolutely can. If you do resin, you can put resin in there. You can do your glossy accents. You could even, if you use a clear glue or a clear stencil paste even, you could do that. There's all sorts that you can do. So let me just grab some cardstock. Okay, I'm just gonna, I don't know what this is. Looks, I think that's, sorry, I think that's watercolour card. I don't want to use that. I'm going to just use, where's my cardstock gone? Why do you never have anything when you want it? There you go. I've got too much on my desk. Right, I'm just going to score my card here. Okay, so I want to go down to an A5. Where's, oh, do you know what? I've left my creaser downstairs. It's been doing a very important job. Anyway, I haven't got it with me, so I'll have to use my embossing tool. Okay, if you've got one of these trimmers and you've got a black thing, then you would know that you can do that. Gosh, I'm sweating in here, it's so warm. Okay, so that's our card blank. Okay. Do you know when you use something all the time, then all of a sudden you don't have it? I'm like, where's my little creaser gone? Honestly, you just don't realise how much you use it, do you? I should have another one somewhere, surely. Right, anyway. So, I think I'm really liking the colour of this. Now, what I want to do, I'm going to use this colour for my template. So, I'm just going to, sorry, I realise this has taken me a really long time to reach this point. Okay, I'm just going to put that. So, let me just, do you know what I'm going to do? Just for speed. Oh no, forget it. It'll take me longer. What I thought about doing there was, if I'd have put the template on the back, sometimes what I do when I use a template is I will actually ink around the template and then I've got something to cut it out to. But anyway, I'll do it this way. It'll take me longer to blooming do all that, won't it? Okay. Okay, so this is why we've all got dies, isn't it, girls and boys? What are glossy accents? Okay, glossy accents. Wow. You see, we should never assume, you know, that everybody knows everything. I say this when we do TV shows. Never assume that the person watching has been crafting for 20 years. So a glossy accent is basically like, it's basically a glue, but it's made up of kind of a clear resin. It's like a clear resin type glue, and it's very long drying, so it'll take you probably a good half hour, if not more. But it dries three-dimensional, and it's really nice and glossy. So it gives you. I don't know if I've got any with me. I can just show you. Let me. Do you know, I've not cut that very well, I'm afraid. Let me cut that round a bit. I'll see. Bear with me, and I'll try as we go through. I'll see if I can actually root mine out. I know I do have some somewhere. I'm just not sure where they are. I think they might be a bit. I think they're in my other boxes, and I might not be able to get to them. They're like. Do you know what the tonic? You know the tonic drops, the Nouveau drops. They're basically the same thing, but they're clear. Okay, so it's exactly the same thing as this, but it's clear and you can use it as a glue. That's the best way that I can describe it if you know what these are. And if you don't know what these are, let me just show you. I'll grab a little bit of scrap paper. So these are, this is a pearl one. So with this one, look, it's self-leveling. Now, the tonic, the glossy accents are not quite as dimensional as this because it's a thinner consistency. So you know it wouldn't stand up like this does. It's runny. So, but you can build it, okay. But it's kind of self-leveling. So whereas these ones, these are Bitonic, these are the Nouveau drops. Love these. So these are really nice and dimensional like that, and it'll stay like that and dry like that, so it gives you an embellishment. But the glossy accents are great as, it's more of a medium, I would say. So it's really nice for, you've made me want to use these now. I'll have to use these on my project. I'm going to get rid of them before I get glue everywhere because I'll put my fingers in it. But yeah, they're, I forgot what I was going to say. I don't know. Anyway, let's get on. Lots of sidetracking today from Nikky. This is me pills speaking. You see me migraine pills. I get a bit all over the place, which isn't the best thing. Right. Okay. So I've just embossed those lines just so that I can now fold this. Got a little bit of something on there. I don't know where that's come from. Okay. So now I can just, where's my bone folder? Do you know, I'm sure the cat goes in my desk. Well, where's that gone? I've literally got nothing to... Okay. Let's just get a nice crease on these. Did I tell you that the cat stole my drawing pen the other week? Been hunting high and low. Anyway, we found it, luckily. the other day. So yeah, it was yeah, basically she'd stolen it, taken it to her bed, and then dropped it behind. It was in here, but she dropped it. I have a little bed for her set up on at the side of my desk so she can look out the window, and she'd stolen it, put it on there, and then it must have rolled off and down the back of the leg of the desk. She's a right little monkey, I tell you. She's a nightmare. She's a right thief. All my hair bands have all started going missing again. Oh, the joys of having cats. Okay, so I'm just going to tape this. So we'll put some red tape on. And this is where I'm missing my creaser. Can't remember the last time I had to do that, but anyway. Okay. And we'll just put... So don't forget, guys, this is a little template, so you can go and get this off the website for free. Okay. Just get that little bit off. Oh, I can't believe how much I'm missing my creasy tool. That's bizarre. So look, now we've got this gorgeous little packet, look. So you could just put some seeds in there. Now, I was thinking, you know, yeah, we're doing gardening theme here. Now, what I'm going to do is I've got like some little creases just on the corners there. Just trim them off. Nobody will know that they're there. It just makes it a bit neater. If you just haven't quite creased that properly, it'd be better if I made creaser tool. But because I'm going to make a gardening card with this, but I was thinking that, you know, I think it'd be quite nice to do this for Christmas. So you could actually kind of make a Christmas card as a gift, and you could put spring seeds in, couldn't you? So, you know, it doesn't have to be Christmas things. You could just put spring seeds in there. And, you know, something, I don't know, when do you start sowing seeds? Or maybe you put spring vegetable seeds in, so that it's just something that they've then got. Because I'll tell you what, seeds are really expensive. I had to buy some this year, and I couldn't believe the cost of them. I was a bit, not outraged, but I was a bit, you know, can't believe the price of those. Right, I want to mat and layer a bit of craft cardstock, just because you do, don't you? You know, any time you put craft card with anything gardening related or flower related, whatever it is, it's going to look gorgeous, and it just kind of enables you to get a completely different look. Now, I think what I might do is I might just rip and tear this. So and I want to trim a little bit off. So I'm going to trim just for a mat and layer. And actually, I might just trim a bit more down off that. So we've got a nice little torn edge there, which is going to look quite nice. Now I'm going to actually glue this down before I do anything else. I've gone a little bit short with my mat, but all I do then, if I do that, is I just make sure that I make that even on all three sides, okay? Ideally, I would have had a much slimmer mat, a bigger, I trimmed a bit too much off, basically. Okay, so that's kind of where we're going with it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make I think we might make a little pocket. So let's grab a little bit of green cardstock as well. I love making pockets, always have. Whenever I used to teach classes, we always used to do things with pockets on. I just absolutely love it. So I think what I'm going to do, I want it to be about that deep. So let's trim to there, and then I can trim it down. So that's kind of how I measure. I kind of do a rough trim, and then I can trim that down. I've got a bit of a funny edge there to trim off. A bit of a wonky edge. And that's okay. So now we can, in fact, let's just trim a tiny little bit more off my wonky edge. That's it, perfect, okay. So I'm going to grab my glue again, and I'm just going to glue 3 sides. So we've now got a lovely little pocket card. I've done it the right way up. Yes, I have. Okay. So we need to decorate this bit now. We need to kind of embellish it and everything. So what I wanted to do, take them out of the way for now. So I was showing you earlier. So this is the Green Fingers chipboard set. And in here, you actually get, let me put these bits back in for you so you get to see what you get the full set. So I've already punched some of these out. So you're getting all of these gorgeous elements, and you can see some of these are quite big. So I've done my card a bit small now. What I really wanted to do was to maybe kind of create something like this. So what we could do, if you get your seed thing's going to go in there, and I quite like having that way around, I think. So, you know, even if you just did something like that, that would be really cute. You've got here as well lots of different things. So this is like a little flower pot, so you could almost put a flower pot in there. We've got things in here like you've got all your embellishments. These have got a little bit battered. But you've got flowers in here. It is quite delicate, this chipboard. So just do be careful with it. One thing I do really love is I really like the tools. So with the tools, you could use those as well. So you even get the handle, so you can put the handle over the top. So you could literally just glue that on, and then you've got your tools as well. So it would look really cute too if you used your fork and your spade, and you could just do those like that. That actually fits the other one, so that goes on there, and you've got a different handle for that one. So you could, and these just glue on, and you hardly need to do anything with this. The thing I love about chipboard is I love the colour of it. Our chipboard is just gorgeous. It's soft. It's not, you know, I think if you were crafting, you know, in 2000, you would maybe think chipboard is like grey and really rock hard. This isn't. This is actually made of a special material, and basically it takes ink really, really well. So it's very, very soft. You can see it's really bendy, but nice and thick. It's actually 1.5 millimeters thick. So it's kind of not, it is perfect for card making because it's so lightweight. It doesn't add any cost onto your postage. You know, we're all kind of mindful about how much postage is. Now, one thing I really wanted in here was to have some weeds. So you've actually got in here dandelions, and then you've also got the, let me just push that one out. You've got the little flower pot marker things. In fact, we might do a flower pot if we're going to go down this route. You've got lots of little tiny buds as well. And I'll come back to them in a second. Oh, I just love this set. I think it's so gorgeous. I've been dying to make something with this. I'll show you a couple of other things that I made with this as well. Don't know whether, I think I'm going to use the gloves, okay, because I want to show you what to do with these. So my idea when I actually designed these was to make it really creative. So yeah, I love the tools. It looks so nice. They're just the right size, aren't they? And don't forget as well, in the Summer Garden collection, you've got smaller tool dies that you can use with these as well. So, you know, everything mixes and matches. But I just wanted to have, so that there's a whole die set of tools. Let me just show you those, in case you've not seen them. Bear with me. Okay, so we've got all these from the Summer Garden. So you've got these tools here, and then you've got all your plant pots with your vegetables. And this is the size of those dies. So you can see they're a lot smaller, obviously a lot smaller than these. But if you didn't want to go for the chipboard, you could create this with the die set. And the really nice thing about this die set is, although it's got lots of pieces in it, look, it's just one, and you've still got the gloves as well, so you've got gloves in there too, and then you've got all your little pots with your vegetables and things. So these make such cute cards. Honestly, they're so lovely. I've wanted to do a gardening set for ages. And then also to match that, you've also got a watering can, a birdhouse, and a wheelbarrow as well, so it all works together. So if you're more of a die person, then you know you can still recreate this. I just wanted to show you why I kind of one of the reasons I wanted to do it with a chipboard is to show you what you can do with this. So I'm going to just grab let me see which stamp set. I'm going to use the Birds and Butterflies stamp set. Oh, they're the dies. Where have you gone? Birds and Butterflies. Okay, so I'm just going to use my stamp. So I'm just going to put that to a side. Gosh, time flies, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm going to just place these onto my stamp platform. And I'm going to need them, I think, to space with. Might just put a little bit of tape, just tape them down. But I'm going to tape them in different areas. So on the Birds and Butterflies stamps, this set has got lots of different flowers and things. You've got a bike in here. You've got another gardening theme, a nice trug there, so you can fill that with flowers. But you've got lots of little tiny flowers. So what I'm going to do is I want to actually stamp the flowers and the leaves onto my gloves, and we'll make some flowery gloves. And it'll just make it look completely different. So, well, let's just randomly put some butterflies on there as well, maybe. Actually, no, I won't. We need to keep. I don't want to make it too complicated. Just those, I think. So this one's kind of like. There's one in here. It looks a bit like lavender. So let's just do that. It just means it's a bit faster for us to stamp. So I'm going to grab I don't know whether this is going to be dark enough, but I'm using Shaded Lilac Distress Oxide, okay, and actually that leaf I'm going to take off. In fact, I'll leave it on because I want the position of it. I want to leave a gap for the leaves. let's see what happens. I didn't do it this way last time, so do you know I've lost me. Where's my Priscilla? I don't think I've unpacked my stuff from the show. I haven't got my stamp tool either. Oh, there she is. Oh. Okay, so then what we can do is, I'm going to do it again. So let's move. Let's do one at a time. I didn't think it out properly, did I? So I'm going to turn it around. In fact, you know what? It's just quicker to, let's just do it this way. It's quicker. We don't need to be messing around, do we? But I just love this little lavender, and they're just like little tiny ditsy little stamps. Now I want to have leaves in there, so I'm going to put the leaves there, just save that gap again, and I'll put the lavender there. In fact, I'll put the lavender there, and I want the leaves there as well. So I'm not inking the leaves just yet. I could do actually. So I'm going to ink the leaves with peeled paint. And then I want the leaf again down here. I'm just going to ink that again. I must admit, I found it quicker just doing it by hand, really, if I'm quite honest. Let's just do the other one by hand. So I'm just going to, well, grab. Now because they're so tiny, let's just get an actual acrylic block. Okay, I want the leaves, and I want a couple more on here as well. So I want the leaves to just come off. Don't want to overdo it, but I need a bit of green in here, so it's just a tiny bit. And then we'll just randomly do the others. Don't know where, oh, they're there. So just rotate, remember. And I've got these other stamps to put on. So let's have the bigger one there. It's a little tiny one. And then just that little lavender one again. This would actually look nice if I'd done it in a third colour, I think, as well. But anyway, it is what it is. Okay. Let's get that out of the way. So, what we can do then is I'm just going to grab a little bit, just a little bit of water and a little paintbrush. Got a new brush. Woo! Do you know, there's nothing nicer than getting a new brush. Okay, so a little bit of water, and then all I'm going to do is just make that ink just move a little bit. So we're not really colouring it, we're just making a hint of colour. So I'm not reading your comments because I'm trying to not get distracted, just conscious of time. So then we can also do the same. In fact, I might just leave. Where's my ink pencil? I'm just going to grab some. So I do this all the time. So I use my ink pads as like a paint palette. So just wet your, you don't want it too wet. And just pick up just a little bit of ink. So just to add, it's just literally to add a bit of colour. But I want it very, very subtle. I think that's all I'm going to do. I'm really liking just having that purple and green. I think it's just such a nice, pretty combination. Right, so so the other thing we need a sentiment. So on that template, if you didn't see it before, these come with pre-printed templates. So if I'd have just printed this straight onto my cardstock, it would already be printed on there, which would be really nice. Now, I'm not going to use these. I'm going to actually do something else with it, I think. So let's decide what we're going to do. I can't decide whether to have... I think I'm going to go gloves today. So I'm going to have my gloves like this. You could, if you really wanted to, have your tools on there as well, but I think it might be a little bit much. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put my dandelions on. So I'm going to stay with the same colour palette, and I used peel paint because it matches my cardstock look. So I'm going to get my detail brushes, and it's got that yellowy kind of peel paint's got that kind of yellowy feel to it. I'm going to do 2. These are out of stock right now, but we will get them back in. They're on order now, so bear with us. We can't keep these in stock. Everybody's going bonkers for them. But I'm not surprised because they are really fab to use. So here's my dandelions. Now, you could use them 2 together if you wanted to. And those are the same dandelion. So if you're going to use them together, then flip it so you get like a bigger dandelion. I'm going to leave them that colour. Kind of quite like it, that colour. But what I'll do, I'll just ink the stems. So, mine are the dandelions after they've flowered. I have difficulty calling them dandelions because I call them fairies. When we were kids, we always, like the dandelions when they get all fluffy, we called them fairies, and I still call them fairies. Now, I don't actually know what they're called at that point. I think they're just fairies. Chris always thinks it's hilarious. But I like calling it. In fact, actually, you know what? I want a darker one for that. Let's go with a darker green. Just to make it stand out. I don't want everything to look the same green. So let's just add a bit of a darker green in. It just gives us a different tone. Did anyone else call them fairies too? And look, we'll just put a slightly different, a little bit of that darker ink on there. This is Rustic Wilderness, this colour, which is one of my faves. I think it's a lovely, lovely colour. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that. I don't like working on a dirty surface. Okay, so we've got our weeds. Now, there's one other thing in the set which I just love. And you're kind of going to look at this and think, oh, what is that? And it's this gorgeous little piece of string here. And this is so delicate. Now look how, this is what we can do on a laser that I can't do in a die, because in a die that wouldn't cut and you'd never be able to get it out. It's just, they're just lush. And it's just all this, I'm such a detailed person, I really am. When I'm crafting, I love the little details. Even if I'm doing a clean and simple, what I call a clean and simple card, I just love to have details. So what you do with those is you get your 2 dandelion leaves, and this, it doesn't have to just be for this, but this basically is string to attach on your dandelions. Can you see that? It's just the cutest thing ever. Actually, I've done it the wrong way around, but it doesn't really matter. But it just kind of like adds to your dandelions. But also you could put your these in there as well. So you're making little sort of bouquets and things. So what we can then do, so we've got our gloves, we've got our, let me see, how am I going to lay this out? I think I want them there. I did a card version of this, and I'll show you the card version as well. It's slightly different, but I really like it. Now I'm going to make that stand up. Now, one thing I want to do before I glue all of this down, I've got to have some string on here. I can't not. Okay, so nearly forgot. That would have been, oops, that's come undone. Bit more glue. I'll just take that out for a second. Okay, so I'm going to take my string and we're just going to wrap the string. Now I don't want to wrap it too tight because I won't be able to get my packet in, my seed packet. Just a few. And because I'm putting all my embellishment on this side, I'm going to tie on the opposite side. So just tie a knot and then we'll just tie a little bow. Just like that. Then our seeds are going to go in there. I need to stamp something on the front of that. Or what we could do, what I was going to do, in fact, what I'm going to do, oh yes, that was what I was going to do. Okay. Yeah, this is what I'm going to do. So I nearly forgot. Oh my god, I would have been so annoyed. Right, okay, I am going to be using here, these are die cuts from the Leafy Fronds. Okay, so we've got a die set called Leafy Fronds, and you get 3 different dies which give you these gorgeous pretty little leaves, and these are just fab. These, I cannot stop using these. I love them to pieces, I really do. Now, so I've already cut all these out. Now, what I want to do, I'm not going to seal this because I do actually want to use this. I'm going to put some seeds in it for my dad. So, but what I want to do is I want to make a bit of an embellishment on the back. So I'm going to just stack these up, and that might be, I don't know. I don't know whether that's too big. I've got smaller ones. Now, I've got different colours that I've already cut out here of these. So, yeah, that's better. I want 2 of that, and I want 1 of that one, which is actually the same colour. And then I'm going to just put a smaller one in on the top. Okay, so I'm going to just make like a little, what do you call it? Well, it's an embellishment, isn't it, really? It's just an embellishment. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to glue it under there. But bear in mind, I'm not doing this because I want to actually use it. And then I'm going to use the Pretty Flowers one die set as well. So we looked at this last time. Again, this is all in the Summer Garden collection. So I'm going to actually put that, in fact I'm going to have to do it because I can do it, and then I'll just leave it open. So I'm going to put my flower on there, and then I'm just going to glue these separately off there, and then I'll add them on. So these are so delicate, so we'll just attach them together. So I've not said it for ages. So guys, there's lots of new people joining us all the time. Thanks for joining me. I love doing these Sunday hours. I think it must be a good time. We seem to get lots of people, which is really lovely. So maybe you're watching while you're having your Sunday lunch or something. I don't know. Anyway, those of you that haven't yet, enter win in the comments, and you will be in with a chance of winning. I'm going to pick it at the end. A draw to win a £20 voucher. And also, if you use the code LIVE25, that one, LIVE25 is 25% off if you spend over £15. That's until tomorrow. So if you see any of this and you like it and you think, you know, I'm going to get that, use that code. Okay, that's just for you guys. It's not anywhere else. So it's just when we do the lives, I like to actually give you a nice little code treat on the lives. Okay, so that's that glued down, hopefully. So there we go. Do you know, I think I'm going to have to just do this because it needs gluing down, or it's just going to keep flopping up again. So this is the Pretty Flowers one die and the Leafy Fronds dies. Actually, it might be all right. Let's see what happens. So, do you know, I'm so glad I nearly forgot about that. It was because I was thinking, oh, I've got something to go in there and I can't remember what it is. So I'm just going to twizzle that round so it doesn't catch. And also, I've earlier on, I've got 3 sets of dies to give away. So I can't remember what the codes were now. So if you want to be in with a chance, I'm just looking at that because I'm thinking of something else. If you want to be in a chance to just win some little freebie dies, the one's an alphabet, 2 alphabet sets, and then there's 2 other mixed sets of dies. I think it was in the comments put win dies, and then I think the other one was win 2, was it? Can't remember. I think it maybe was. So I'm going to glue this down because it's starting to annoy me now. Okay. Don't want to cover these up. So I've ended up, this was going to be quite a clean and simple card. I've ended up with it being not clean and simple at all. Okay, never mind. Just wondering whether maybe I won't put these on. They just look so cute. Maybe I will. What do you think? Do you think I should put these on or not? Do you know what I am thinking? What might be better? What would they look like if we... No. I'm going to have to put them on. I can hear lots of you doing that now. Yeah, get in the drawers. Just push them down a bit. And we'll just put one dandelion on there, I think. So just with your dandelions, just, you know, they're very delicate, these things, but they're so, so pretty. I'm going to have to put that behind there. And a little bit more glue under here, I think. I'm very frugal with my gluage. So I think I just need, I haven't put that on. Oh, come on, Nikky, get your act together. So fine. Just put, if you're going to use the little string thing, just put a little dab of glue behind it and it'll just keep it in place then. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to hold my finger on that. So, I need to just find a sentiment to go with this. For now, I'm going to make another one. I'm going to glue this down because it's irritating me. Just press that down a second. Lots of... am I putting wording on the other bit of green? Yes, I am. Yes. So, wind eyes and wind eyes 2 alphabet, please, Debbie. Yay. Yeah, make sure you get in. And then don't forget, if you haven't entered win, I'm going to have to just pick random winners, I think, because you've all entered for everything, haven't you? I think. So I've got 3, what have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4 winners to pick at the end. Where's Chris when I need him, honestly? Right, bear with me. I need a sentiment for this. So I'm just going to grab something I've already got cut. Okay. So... Right, one thing I am going to use, because I've not used them yet and I'm in love with them. Well, I have used them a little bit. So we've got our polka dots. These are new. First time we've done these. And I just love the colours on these. I actually asked them to do these colours specifically for this collection. So I want to just put, I think we'll put one in the middle of our flower there, just to brighten that up a little bit. And... maybe just a couple of smallish ones. I love doing 3. I was going to do 2 projects if you remember. Okay, so that just finishes that a little bit. And then we've got here, got to show you these. So, God, look at my desk. Every time I go, oh, I'm not going to get messy. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so we've got our perfectly perfect strip dies. Okay, so this is one die that's going to cut don't know how many, 18 sentiments. Okay, so one die. This is your stamp set that goes with it. So it's one stamp, one die. These have been flying out. After we did the Merry Christmas ones, I actually made sure we ordered extra of these, and we're running out of them rapidly. So these are fab. So what these do, you're basically just going to stamp out your sentiments like this, and then your die will fit over the top. Now, I think that goes, where is it? Is this the right die set? There you go. I only did half a stamp when I did this for some reason. So, or I think, don't know. No, it's there. There you go. So when you stamp this, if you've not seen these before, these type of stamps before, so basically on your stamp you've got 4 dots in the corners. They're your register marks. So when you stamp it, you're going to ink, those dots will come out. So like, look here, I've got 2 dots at the bottom. That I know then that that's the bottom of my stamp. That's how I knew I was working on the bottom. And then what you do is you just place your die over the top, and you need to make sure that you get the little cutouts. There's little cutout circles on your dies in the corner. Just make sure you line those up, and that helps you line up the sentiments then, okay? So, I don't know where they've gone. I had loads cut out already, and I thought they were in that packet, but they've done. Along with everything else. Come on. Well, I don't know what I've done with them. I don't know what I've done with them. Oh, do you know what? I just realised. I knew there was something I'd not done that I was going to do. I was meant to use these papers. Look how pretty these are. I really wanted to use these. Look. These are so gorgeous. I was going to use that. I'm in love with that paper. And this one as well. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that nice? These are just stunning, stunning papers. If you've not got this set yet, you kind of need it. It's gorgeous. I forgot to use it. Right, I've lost my die cuts, so just to save a bit of time, I am just going to snip into these. I haven't really, because I haven't got my big die cutting machine here. I didn't think I needed to. So I'm just going to snip that out, because I've already stamped it. Sending sunny thoughts to brighten your day. And these sentiments aren't too big, which I really like. So what I like to do is I like to cut like just a little point in the end of it like that, and then that just kind of lifts it a little bit. So I'm just going to put that in there. Bit of glue. So just in there. And I've got one more little bit that I want to use just because I can and love it. So this is from that Woody's chipboard set. I know I've used a lot of different things today, but I just wanted to kind of show you all the different bits and pieces we had. So I'm just going to cut another little piece off. Just a little bit of chipboard rick-rack. Who doesn't love a piece of chipboard rick-rack? Let's just put that under there. And it just fills that little space without actually really putting anything into it. There we go. And that is, I think I've glued everything down. Oh, I've tied it. Oh, Nikky. Oh well, never mind. We all do it, don't we? Right, what I would do is then just mount that onto another card. Okay, what an idiot. Never mind. But I quite like that. I think it's really quite pretty. I've been wanting to do that for ages. So don't forget that you've got the pocket template is a free download. Got my desk. Okay, I'm having to tidy up just so I can reach my laptop. So the pocket. So you're getting 2 templates. So that's what I used. You can print these direct onto your cardstock, so then you'll get the sentiment. This one says, "Thank you so much. You are so appreciated." And obviously you can resize them as well. I just printed this at size, and that's exactly the size it came out. So, you know, that comes out really nicely at that size. So I just want to show you, because we've been using the Summer Garden chipboard. I just wanted to show you something else that I'd made with that set as well, just to sort of give you a bit more inspiration. So this was, so using the little tools, okay, so the tools I didn't use before. So a bit more clean and simple look by using lots of white. And you don't need to do anything. All I did was just colorize the handles with a bit of vintage photo ink, and just, you know, colored the stems that you get. And this has just got the papers from the paper pack, and then just some vellum onto a white card, and the sentiment from the Pretty Perfect Sentiments. And then a different take on this is this card. So this one, pretty much the same thing, but here what I did was you get the plant pot in the kit as well. And so I just added more of the elements and I kind of distressed it all up a bit. That was what I didn't do. I knew it was something I hadn't done on here. I wanted to just distress the edges. And I actually made it look like the gloves are a bit mucky with a bit of brown going around the gloves. And then going back to those flowers, I just want to show you the flowers again that I used because I didn't really show those. And I know lots of you didn't join me last time that are here now. So this flower that I used, this is the Pretty Flowers one die with the leafy fronds, okay? So that's what I used there. Now that is these, okay? So with these, your flower dies, you get 5 dies in the set. So you get a large, and then these are the actual flowers. And then all I've done is actually inked the centre of the flowers with a little bit of peeled paint in my case. And basically I've just kind of, you know, embossed them a little bit and shaped them just to make these gorgeous flowers. And then what I've got to show you this because they're just stunning when you actually use them with the leafy fronds. These leafy fronds, this is, if there's one thing you've got to get, it's the leafy fronds dies, because look what happens when you put these flowers and dies together. They're just stunning, and I'm just a bit addicted to using them, if I'm honest. Look, that one I did with a bit of blue in there as well. Look how pretty it is. But, you know, they're just the perfect size for embellishing all of your cards. No matter what type of card you actually make, they're just absolutely stunning. So, you know, imagine if you were doing a wedding card. I would literally just do that on the front of a card and you're done. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. And also, if you were doing it in a wedding, look, you could do it in white as well, and they look beautiful in white. Just that and that. That and that, look. Gorgeous. Right, I'm going to go and look at everything you're doing. So remember, you can get 25% off if your order over £15 if you use the code LIVE25 until tomorrow. It ends tomorrow morning. Right, okay. Gosh, so many of you. Wow. 200 comments, 183 comments. Right, okay. Who's going to win then? Crikey, I'm just going to have to do a scroll. I'm going to do a scroll. Pippa Thomas, you've won the dice. Okay, let me get a piece of paper. So you're going to have to, can you email me? Don't message me, please. I don't always see the messages. So let me go here. There you are. Okay. So Pippa Thomas, you've won the dies. So that's the alphabet dies that you won. God, I don't even know where I've put them now. Here somewhere. I'll show you what you've won, because some of you don't even know what you were going to win, do you? Oh, dropping everything. Oh. Honestly, for you, this is the worst my desk's been. So, Pippa, you've won a full set of alphabet dies and a little mini set of alphabets as well. So 2 sets of alphabets in your prize. Well done, Pippa. Okay. So the next 2 winners, I'm going to pick 2 winners, and what you're going to win, here, let me show you on the overhead. Okay. Just do a quick, oh, I've lost the cursor again. Oh, it's happened again, guys. Forget it. Right, okay. You're going to win. I'm splitting this in 2. These are random dies. So you've got, they're little dies. There you go. But there's a baseball player, a bear, Buzz, cars, there's a little crown in there. They're just random dice, butterfly, there's even Super Mario faces in here. You might get duplicates, because there's some duplicates in here. But I'm going to, and there's some little cherubs and hearts and things, and leaves, and butterflies. So I'm going to split this between 2 winners, okay? So, oh, I can't, oh, my cursor's back. The dreaded cursor. So who else is going to win? Let me see. Jeanette Featherstone. I don't think you claimed last time. You're one of the winners that I was saying. If you guys, I do this every live, and no, you're not always, if you don't stay around to the end, you don't know you've won. So I've got like 2 or 3 claims where people haven't claimed. So Jeanette Featherstone, I know that you are one of the winners, and I don't think you claimed. If I remember, if you did, then fine. But if you didn't, can you please email me? Website at polkadoodles.co.uk. Right, okay, this is the last time I'm going to do it. So who else? Right, okay. Let me see. I am just literally, right, CC Haxton, win 2. You're going to win one of the sets of dice. Okay, so CC, email me, website at polkadoodles.co.uk. So CC Haxton, I'm writing your name down. And we've still got another 2 to go yet. Let me see. I am doing it randomly. I'm trying to miss out the design team people. That's the problem. Okay. We've got Janelle D'Amato. Janelle, you're going to win the other set of dice. They're only like little, it's just like a little freebie. They're not amazing dice, so don't be disappointed when you get them. They were just like a load of dice someone sent me. My manufacturer sent them to me free. So rather than me just throwing them away, they're just a little giveaway. Right, and then the main £20 winner then, Julie, the email is website at polkadoodles.co.uk. And let me see who else. Okay, I'm trying to miss the design team. Quite a few design team girls in here. Let me where are we? Debbie, you can win the £20 voucher. So well done, Debbie. So remember, website at polkadoodles.co.uk to claim your prizes. Okay. And can you do me a favour, actually? Can you just actually put the claim code in your email, just in case there's anyone that is, trying to claim on your behalf? You never know. So, yeah. So, thank you for joining me. I hope you really like the project. Don't forget, you've got the free download. So, head to the website and grab the download. The other thing is, we are on Hobby Maker on Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday or Thursday, the 26th. I won't be there, but Dawn Wheeler is doing the show for me. I won't be there because I've got lots of designing to do this week. Yes. So, so Dawn will be there. There's new things on the show. It's a Christmas show, but there's new things on the show. So make sure that you tune in. I think it might be 3 and 7. I'm not sure what the time is, but anyway. So join Dawn on Hobby Maker. I know she'll be pleased to have you there. I'll be watching it along, so I might be posting some links and things. I will be back next Sunday with I'll take you through the new things that I've got coming up. We've got lots of new stuff about to come, so keep your eyes peeled on the website. New downloads coming. We've got new dies to come. We've got loads of exciting stuff coming. So yeah, I'm going to let you go. It's 1:30. Wow, an hour and a half. I think 20 minutes was spent on the cursor though, wasn't it, at the beginning? Never mind. But thank you so much. I'm going to go grab a cuppa. I'm going to try and sort my desk out because literally it's like a bomb's dropped. I would like, I know I keep saying I'm going to schedule another live during the week. I am definitely going to do another live this week. In fact, I might do it on Wednesday. Oh, no, not Wednesday, whatever, on the 26th. Right, I'm writing this down. So I'm going to do a live on the 26th, okay? So probably in the afternoon after the first Hobby Maker show, whatever that is. Anyway, I'll post it so you'll know when it is. But yeah, we'll do that on what I think it might be Thursday actually, the 20. What is it? 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday the 26th. Okay, so we'll do it on Thursday. Right. Okay. Over and out. Thank you so much for all your lovely comments. I need a social media coordinator. I really do. Yes, I absolutely. I just need staff. Full stop. Staff, please. Yeah. If only Keir Starmer would stop putting the minimum wage up, maybe we could afford staff. Anyway, never mind. It's not helped because today Chris isn't here, so he's gone off motorbiking with my dad. But yeah, thanks to all the design team girls for joining me as well, and thank you to everyone that's spent your Sunday lunchtime with me. I love it. I love doing the Sunday hours. They're really nice, aren't they? Okay, I'll see you on Thursday, and if not, I'll see you next Sunday at 12. Over and out from me. Thank you. Bye.